Hello, hello, hello. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, good. Welcome to day number 2 of the Get Your Shift Together Challenge workshop. I'm working on the Book Sell Recruit Challenge. Okay, good. I need to pull this back. I'm working on the Book Sell Recruit Challenge right now. So now I'm interchanging challenge and workshop again. But welcome. I have a fly flying around me. So if you see me going like this, I haven't lost my mind, but I cannot stand flies. So I'm praying that it goes away because they drive me crazy. Oh, all right. So I am so excited to welcome you guys back to the Get Your Shift Together workshop. Like I said, this is day number 2. Hello to Vera and Maya and Danielle and Safira. You're here live today. Do you guys see my blackberry lip stuff? I crack myself up. I put this on especially for you because I knew that you guys would love the fact that it's Halloween time and I'm wearing my blackberry lip scents. Duh, of course. Hello to Kathy and Tammy. Hello. All right. So there was something I wanted to talk about. And now I can't remember. I think I have a couple things that are coming up in my mind. So I want to cover from the takeaways. I have like a million things going through my mind, so I can't even like articulate my words. So there were 2 things that were repetitive in the takeaways. And I was really excited about this because I didn't let you guys use the dark work as your takeaway. And it was beautiful because I got new things that really connected with you. So the first thing that I saw that connected was the bright faith. And that was something new that I added this time. Bright faith has never been something that has been part of the Get Your Shift Together workshop. And I learned about it inside of Danielle Laporte's Fire Starter Sessions book. And I was like, this has to be part of like the workshop. So I'm so glad that you guys loved that. The second thing that really stood out from the takeaways. Hello, Ronnie's here live and there's ice water. Yay, thank you, Ronnie. I already talked about it, so that makes me happy that you said something. What else? Oh, the antidepressants, right? Being on pills. That was another thing that really stuck out for you guys. And I love that because I have had that as part of the workshop like the whole time. And nobody's ever brought that up as a takeaway. So I'm loving how I really articulated it this time in a way that connected with you. Can we talk about these pumpkin earrings for just a second? Like, aren't they amazing? Oh my gosh, I cracked myself up. Oh, I don't have a patch on today. I'm like, where is my extra energy? Oh, I know where it is. Not on. Hi, Angie. So, those were a couple of the main takeaways that really stuck out that you guys shared. But I always like to start this session with asking you guys, dude, I'm not used to people swearing in the comments. And I love that you swear in the comments, Angie. It makes me so happy. Is that shiny or did I miss a spot? Okay, it's just shiny. I get distracted really easy. I apologize. It's just who I am. So I always like to start this session out with you guys telling me, now that you've had a chance to sleep and, a little bit of time has passed, what is a takeaway that is still mulling around in your mind? So shout out in the comments. Yes, I want you to do this right here on the live. What is a takeaway that you have from yesterday? Some of you guys went back and watched the replay. I know that I think it was Kim that watched Joanne watched the replay and took notes. I don't know who else did. But when you listen a second time, this is why in most of my training, I always say you should listen 3 times. And the reason for that is you don't always hear everything. You can listen to the same thing like 100 times and you seriously won't hear. You'll be like, she didn't say that the first time, right? Yeah, I did. But you didn't hear it because maybe you were writing or you were thinking or something else was going on. So you didn't hear what I said. So listening to things multiple times really makes a difference, or once you sleep on it. So shout out in the comments, what is something that still is like sticking with you even after you've slept? So shout that out. I want to know. I think it's so important that we remember what really connects with us and we continue to cement that in our mind. That's a part of repetition and making this or starting the process of making this a lasting change. So tell me that. That's what I want to know. You did post it in the wrong place, Cindy, but it's okay. I still saw it. Yay! Vera's temperature is at 9. Woo! Oh, so Saphira's takeaway is that she's really good at avoiding emotional trauma. That was another takeaway, though, for Maya. Maya has done this workshop. I swore that this is her third time doing the workshop, and she realized that she doesn't go soul deep in her life. So I felt like that was an unbelievable takeaway. I think that's actually what I wanted to talk about. It's not enough just to show up here and go soul deep for 5 days. And then when this is all over, you just revert back to the surfacey bullshit that doesn't matter and continue running your life that way. It's so important that once you learn the different things that, yeah, okay, see, I thought it was your third time. Once you learn the things that I'm teaching you here, you need to be taking these forward in every aspect of your life. And soul deep is a really important part of that. I've talked a lot in my journey, and I did in the last workshop as well, about the fact that it took me 9-10 years into my marriage before I was more vulnerable and really allowed myself to be able to be hurt by Daniel. And I've known him for 23 years and we've been together for 15, right? We were talking about that yesterday. I mean, I've known him longer than I haven't known him, right? 23 years. I'm 37 years old. So now we've passed that line that I've known him longer than I haven't known him. And it still took me almost 10 years to get to that point of vulnerability and soul deep with him and allowing him to see, not necessarily see all of me because I'm very honest and open, but me to put my burdens, I guess, my feelings, my emotions on him. I never did that. Because at that point, if I did that, I always felt like he would now be able to destroy me. He would now be able to bring me to my knees. And I have always lived my life to where nobody would have that power over me ever. And so to me, being that vulnerable means that somebody would have that power over me, but not being that vulnerable or soul deep means that you never have the connectivity and the deep love with anyone. I have met people who do this with their children. They keep their children at arm's length, right? We talked a little bit about that yesterday with the mom who has been raped or molested, right? She will usually keep her child at arm's length, right? Oh, fly. Not intentionally though. That's not a conscious thing. And it wasn't necessarily conscious that I was doing that with Daniel either. It took me a long time to realize what I was doing. It wasn't that I was doing it on purpose. So yeah, exactly, Ronnie. It was him seeing the unseen. Like I've probably cried more in the last 3 years than I have my whole life. And for a long time, it used to throw my husband and kids off. Like they would think that the fucking sky was falling because the only time I used to ever cry is when I was so fucking pissed that I was going to murder someone if I didn't cry. Like my tears only ever came from pure pissed offery, not hurt unless somebody died. And so when my kids and my husband used to see me cry, it would be like, that's how strong I was all the time with everything. And that's how much of a barrier that I had up. It wasn't like I would just like hide and cry in the bathroom or something like that. No, I just never fucking cried. It just wasn't who I was. It wasn't built into my foundation, right? but something weird happens. Like if you're a really strong person most of your life, then as you get older, you start to get more sensitive. And if you're more of like a pushover and everybody runs you over and takes advantage of you, then as you start to get older, you're like, fuck you, I will fuck you up. Like that's how it changes. And so I hate this. I wish I would have been a pushover so I would be becoming more of a bitch, because this whole like crying shit is for the fucking birds. I literally almost burst into tears because I missed Pitbull and Iggy Azalea's concert. Like I almost thought I needed psychological help. Like that's how bad it was. Oh my God. Don't judge me. Okay. Yeah. So takeaways that are still coming through. You have to dig deep, soul deep. Andrew says, you brought up some shit that I need to burn. Yes. Yes. Vera says, when I did the darkness work, it brought out years of pain that I had deep down, and burning it felt amazing. Usually that is the result, is that burning feels amazing. When you're writing it, it doesn't feel amazing. But if you do something about that burn, I told you, Vera, like you have to fucking burn it, because something about that burn is everything. After Vera says, after burning my darkness, my boyfriend even looked up at me and said, you look so much happier and more relaxed. Something about it, like it can't ever come back. It can't ever resurface. If you flush it, what if it resurfaces in the fucking drain? You know, what if it ends up out there in the gutter? You know, there's something about like flushing it, it's still existing. That's why I'm like, burn it and then rinse that shit down the sink. Like once you add water to the ashes, it disintegrates. There's so much symbolism to the whole entire process. I love it. Yeah. My old man's not too close because I'm a weirdo. You're not a weirdo. Like it's a defense mechanism, which we talked about yesterday, that protection. Yay! Feel like a 7 today, but after the turn and burn, you feel so much better, like at a 9. I'm telling you, it's so freeing. So Angie's a 7 today. If you guys want to go ahead and do your temperatures, I haven't asked yet, but feel free. If you have not posted your temperature in the comment, post it now. What is your temperature today starting this session? Vera says, I cry when it needs to come out. Holding it in isn't healthy. You know, I learned that. It's a weird thing, but I do feel like, so this isn't part of today's training, but whatever, it's part of it because it's just, you know, comment, it's a download. In 2018, when my entire coaching company pretty much had come to a head and fallen apart because I guess, stopped paying attention or stopped caring or got distracted or was stepping away, like whatever it was, that was the beginning of like me being more emotionally connected to myself. So I feel like that's also the beginning where I started being more vulnerable. So what is that? 3 years ago? But it's actually 4 years ago. That all started happening. Before that, I was hella strong. And that was my turning point, and being so strong all the time. And I believe that that's one of the things that really has destroyed my body, is holding in those emotions. I think that's why I ended up having to have a hysterectomy, and all my female parts were like matted down and my body wasn't processing right, because that stuff is not meant to stay inside of you. I was not teaching this 4 years ago, like the journ and burn. I wasn't teaching the releasing of this stuff at that time. This is all part of my growth journey that I'm bringing forward for you. And I remember the first time that I did a journ and burn, I actually play it inside of Shift Happens. I won't be this time because the energy is shifted in it, but I have played it inside of Shift Happens, where you hear me like emotional and like crying about the fact of my feelings about money. And after I did my journ and burn, how it felt and the difference and the release and what I wanted and all of the things. And it was during that time that I did that. It was 2018 that I ever did my first journ and burn. So I want you to know that not just like crying emotions, but holding in, you know, anything. For me, if I don't say what I'm feeling, it literally makes me sick to my stomach. So like if you do something that pisses me off, and I'm worried that if I say something, it's going to, let's say, affect my family. Let's say you're my sister and you do something that pisses me off. And I'm afraid if I say something, there's going to be this big blow up and then everybody's not going to hang out and nobody's going to talk, which this is a true story. It happened with my sister-in-law. I kept my mouth shut for 3 fucking years, and I would cry myself to sleep after every family function because I was so angry and I had so much to say and I didn't say anything. So we'd all hang out for family dinner on Sundays, and my sister-in-law would nitpick at me and just talk shit and say the rudest things and treat me like I was the biggest fucking idiot, and just like I just so dumb, just the way she talked about me and to me, it was as if that I was so stupid that she doesn't know how I function. Let me just tell you, I'm like a million times better than she is as a human being. I'm more beautiful inside and out. I'm more brilliant than she is. Just as a person, I know all of this, and not like puffy chesty. It's just something I know. She's just an ugly human through and through, and she's definitely not as smart as me. And so it wasn't about me believing what she had to say. It was completely about the fact that I wanted to tell that bitch exactly what the fuck I thought. And I would have been able to cut her down to the size of a fucking ant without swearing at her one time or actually degrading her. But I never did, ever, until Christmas 2 years ago. This December will be 2 years ago. And it just destroyed me inside. It was like so hard to not speak my truth because I am a bitch. You will not run me over. You will not disrespect me. You will not talk to me like that. That's how I am. That is who I am as a human being. And I'm especially like that with my children, my husband. My friends don't treat me like that, so I don't have to be like that with them. But if they did, they wouldn't be my friends, right? So I'm very big on protecting that. But with her, I never did for 3 fucking years after we all moved back to Utah. She never used to do that to me before. We all moved away. I moved to Florida, and her husband joined the military, which is my brother. And then we all moved back here, and it was just shit. It was so bad. But anyways, I digress from that. I think one of the reasons why I'm always telling you guys stories is because my stories gives you guys a big look into how I got here, like the growth, right? And once you know that you not speaking up for yourself and speaking the truth destroys you inside, that's something you never want to do again. I only ever spoke my truth to her one time. I only ever told her what I thought one time. As soon as I was done, and I text it because if I was to tell her to her face, I knew that I would rip her down by being demeaning and, saying fucked up things. And I didn't want to be like that. I wanted to be very matter of fact, very clear, and I wanted her to understand it 100% without any back and forth, without any interruptions, without any blame. I left all blame out, even though it was all her fucking fault. But that was the moment that I was like, I'm never going to do that again. And then after that, I would see her. She held on to it for months. She treated me like shit. She wouldn't look at me. She acted like a fucking 2-year-old. And I'm never the bigger person. Can I just put this out here? I am never the bigger person. You want to stoop low? I'm coming down there with you. You want to fuck with me? I'll take out my earrings. We can throw down right now. I don't care how weak I am. Like, that is just my personality. I'm a very aggressive human being. So I'm never the bigger person, but in this whole thing with her, I was. And so I look back at that, and that's a constant reminder to me to never do that again. And I hope that this story has given you some power, because I've told it plenty of times, but this time it's for you, right? This time it's something that you needed to hear. And so as you go through this journey of growing, learning and growing, you really get clear on what you're not fucking doing, what you're not dealing with, what you're not putting up with, and you no longer do that. So it's funny because my mom is an extremely strong woman. She raised me this way. She is this way. And as she gets older, she cries, and she's just so fucking nice, and it annoys the piss out of me because I'm like, you need to quit being so nice and kick their ass, like, because that's how she raised me, like, who the fuck is this person? You are like freaking me out, but piss my mom off. And it's like that badass bitch that you're really fucking scared of shows the hell up, and you're like out of there, And so it's just so funny because as you grow and learn and you become less rough around the edges, let's say you're more like me, you still have that power. Like, people don't fuck with me. They don't. Everybody tells Daniel, like, your wife's scary, These big macho men will say, your wife's scary. He's like, well, when she's mad, she is, And so it's just so funny because I have that demeanor about me, and that's how I carry myself. It's the other day, here's another like little snippet, and then we're going to jump into your guys' comments and then jump into today's topic because we haven't got there yet. My youngest, what the fuck, football coach, he got COVID, and it has been crazy. Like, people are getting COVID and then going into the hospital and they're fine, but they just need fucking oxygen. Don't get me started. You're not going to like what I have to say if you're all into going to the hospital, but I'm saying it anyways. I'm speaking my truth. So I was terrified that he was going to end up going into the hospital because every person goes in the hospital, like 95% of them fucking die. And it's because of their protocol and what they do once you get there. I will like back that up until the day I die. Their protocol fucking sucks for COVID. And that's why people are dying. And so everybody asks me when I tell them that, why aren't they changing it? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know why they're not changing it, but people are dying left and right because their protocol is wrong and they know their protocol is wrong. So let's just chalk it up to money. Well, he gets COVID and now I'm terrified because his 3 sons are like my adopted children. They're my boy's best friend. And I'm like, oh my God, please don't go to the hospital. That's what I text people that I know as soon as they get COVID. Please don't go to the hospital. I'll tell you what you need to do. Just don't go to the hospital. I have a whole list that I send to people. Anyways, so he writes back and he's like, that was really nice of you to check on me. And I instantly thought, that's because people don't see me like that, right? People don't see me as like, hey, are you okay? They don't see me nurturing. I am a very nurturing person though, just like tough nurture, right? So I check on him. He's like, oh my God, that was so nice of you. Da, 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 da. And I wrote back, this is what's funny. I said, when you're inside my bubble, I got you. I care about you. You know, I'm sympathetic. Like I want the best for you. But if you're outside my bubble, you can fuck off. Like that's what I wrote him because that's me. That's who I am. So anyways, I just shout out in the comments, did, any of my stories that I just shared with you help you? Like, did you connect with them at all? Okay. I want to know. So Ronnie says, when I cry, people freeze because they don't know if they should run away or console me. I agree with that too. People don't know if they should touch me or not. Like if I touch her, is she going to spontaneously combust? Is she going to like punch me in the face? Like what is the next thing that will happen if I touch her while she's crying? Angie says, yes, I'm too sensitive now. Exactly. Maya says, be ready to burn all week if this is your first workshop. Joanne says, when feeling uncomfortable, you're in the right place. Yeah, not sensitive, emotional. Okay. Okay, make sure this is something that I want to say because Cindy says she still needs to like get through the rest of her darkness. Don't let your activities or your action plans from each day carry over. That's a habit that you already have, is to put off for tomorrow what you could do today because you want to put off feeling better to tomorrow because you don't want to feel better today. What? That sounds weird. Why would I not want to feel better, Alicia? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that's your default mode. You feeling like shit is your default mode and where you feel comfortable. And feeling better and good and happy and energized and powerful is uncomfortable. And that is not what you're used to. So psychologically, you will put off the activities that I'm telling you are going to help you and make you feel better because you don't want to feel better because you're uncomfortable feeling better. But you don't want to feel bad because you hate feeling bad, but feeling bad is where you're comfortable. So you have to make a new level of comfortability by taking the action no matter what. No, I can't repeat that. That all just came out of my gut. So I hope you liked it. All right. 6, 9, 7, 8, 7, 7, 7. Yay, Kim. I'm glad the burn helped you. Let's see. Sorry I'm late today. Facebook did not want to refresh for some reason. When I finally got to refresh, you were already 10 minutes in. It's okay. We haven't started. I just been riffing from the heart. We really haven't started. Vera says the boyfriend and I make it at least once a month for us to talk and pour out our feelings to each other. I don't know what the fuck today the topic is. Let me see. Or not the topic, but the content. One of these days, we're going to talk more about that and structuring that. Okay, so I always get like bitched at because I don't tell people this. So Vera, I'm going to tell you because it just popped up as you were talking about you and your boyfriend. I have a book that I've written. It's on Amazon and Kindle. It's called Live the Life You Love Relationships. If you want more ways to become closer, not just like a once a month thing, but an intentional action that you guys take on a regular basis, I highly recommend that book. And then I have another book that's Live the Life You Love, You Deserve It. And that book is my better seller. And it's changed more lives than I can even count. So you guys can find them both on Amazon. You can search Alishia Willardson. You have to spell it right. Or you can search Live the Life You Love, and they should come up there. One is a bright, like turquoise cover, seafoam, and the other one is a purple cover. Yeah, it absolutely does help build your relationship. Absolutely. Yep. Maya talked about cuddle chat time. Vera says sometimes you have to be the bigger person. I never am, really. I'm just like a low stooper. You know that like joke where the comedian's like, why do women have to stoop so low? You know, you're in the middle of a fight and she's like, oh yeah, well, you got a small dick. Like, why do we have to go there? You know, the audience is busting up. Yeah, I'm that woman. I'm not really that woman to my husband. Like, that's stupid, but I'm just a low blower, I guess. I don't know. That's funny. No pun intended. All right. Tabby says, I feel so much stronger in some areas and stand my ground than I did before my first Get Your Shift Together journey. But I also recognize more areas. What the fuck? It just jumped. More areas that I need to work through. Yeah, you're always going to have more areas. I'm telling you guys that right now. You are never done. Joanne says, I give a person 3 strikes and you're out. Where before I spoke my mind and then thought about it. Dad always said your mouth is going to get you in trouble. Yeah, me too. Probably one day it's going to get me jumped or murdered or something. Oh, look at Saphira being just a good little assistant. There they are. You're amazing. Thank you for commenting those. So one more story for you, because I think it's a powerful story. I need to have her write me a testimonial. There was, well, she still works for me now, but she didn't. So there's this girl and her name's Trinity. And I opened a physical brick and mortar store in April of this year. Holy shit. How much work is that? Anyways, I opened this brick and mortar store called Soul Healing Zone, and it's me in a store. It is so amazing. Like everything that I love, everything that I am, it's me just in a store. When you walk in there, you would know as soon as you walk through the doors, you know exactly what I'm saying. But me telling you this, like, what? It's amazing. And this girl was working for me and she just started like fucking up, like not showing up. And then she was late and I'm like, what the fuck, you know? And so I bitched her out because she didn't show up. And I gave her another chance. And the day that she came to work next, I told her, you need to get my book off the shelf and you need to read it every day that you're working, because when it's slow, you can be changing your life. And you need to do everything I tell you to do in this book. She's 16. Did I mention this? I don't know if I mentioned this. 16. She has no kids. She is not married. She still goes to school, you know, just a kid. But I told her to read this book. And this book is definitely geared towards like grown women and mothers. It definitely is. All right. So her mom is polyamorous. So she has a husband and a wife. Okay. And they have like 20 some odd fucking kids. Well, things go on and she says she needs to quit because she's starting work at Walmart and she has school. Okay, whatever. You're annoying me anyways with all your bullshit, right? I didn't say that to her, but that's what I was thinking. So she quits. And then she said, but if you ever need me to, you know, fill in, then just let me know. I'm like, okay, whatever. Time goes on. I'm like, I'm not fucking calling her. And she keeps seeing my mom at Walmart, and my mom has a store right next door to me. She keeps telling my mom, hey, if you guys need help on Saturdays, I'm there. I have a solid schedule at Walmart, da, 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 right? And so I call her and I'm like, or I text her, I'm like, hey, could you please cover the shift? Whatever. She's like, yes. And this was when I was going to hire people to work my store all the time and then just focus on coaching and da, 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 da. So one day she writes me back and she's like, I just have to check something about her roommate. And I was like, what? She goes, oh yeah, I didn't tell you. Since I read your book, I've moved out of my mom's house. I moved out on my own. I work at Walmart and I go to school and I am so happy. And it literally blew my fucking mind because that book, like I said, is geared towards women and mothers, right? People who don't have, like, it's just different, the perspective that it's written from and everything. And it totally blew my mind because it changed her life. And at 16 years old, she realized that the environment that she was in wasn't good for her and she needed to do something different. And she literally moves the fuck out of her mom's house. And now she works for me like every Saturday. So there you go. There's a testimonial for the book. You may have to burn it twice. You won't have to burn it twice. The cool thing about journal burns is once you do that burn, Cindy, it releases. Now, other things may come up around the same topics or the same issues, but I've never burned the same issue twice. I don't know about Maya or Tammy, because you guys have done this before. Have you guys burned the same issue twice? I haven't. It could be from a different perspective, but not exactly. All right. So temperatures look good today. I have not done a leaderboard update. It's going to take me for fucking ever to figure out who won. So you're just going to have to be surprised on Monday when I announce it, or Sunday, or whatever day it's going to be. I haven't decided that either. So to recap yesterday, you are committed to all 5 days, right? You did your dark work. If you didn't do it today, do not wait. I just gave you a whole entire fucking pep talk about why you guys need to stop putting off to tomorrow what you need to do today so you can start feeling better today instead of tomorrow, right? Because you can keep putting it off for tomorrow. No more of that. So you did the dark work. You burned the dark work. I really don't recommend ripping or flushing. Burn that shit. The ozone layer is fucked up anyways. All right. I said that you have to say yes to yourself more than you say yes to other people, which means you had to say no. And if you did say yes to someone else, then you had to say yes to yourself twice. How did you guys do yesterday with saying no? Well, actually, in the last 24 hours, good or bad, put it in the comments. Just write good or bad. So Tammy's never burned the same issue more than once. Maya's never burned the same issue twice, but yes, on things that branch out from the big one. Yeah, it's weird. And I know it seems odd because you're like, no, this is weighing heavily. I know, I get it. But the whole process, the whole ritual of the burn, dude, it just releases it. Vera says, I've been putting off laundry. I need to do it. So after this training, I am doing it. Yes. All right. You guys also committed to going soul deep while showing up and commenting. And man, are you commenting? You guys are rocking and rolling it. You guys also committed to being here for each other. You guys are doing okay with that, but I'd like to see a little bit more in the group. And you committed to posting that you did the work. I didn't see as much takeaways from yesterday as I should have. With 12 people on live consistently, I think I only got 6 or 7 takeaways. All right. So make sure you guys are posting your takeaways each day. It really does help with content for the next day. It's just going to make it more powerful. And yes, I'm stealing some of your takeaways and putting them on my stories. Kim said, I said no today. I was already committed to helping with my grandkids last night, so I didn't say no last night. Yes. Good. So as you guys know, my Get Your Shift to... Oh, wait, we got to stop. You guys want to say hi to the piggy pie? Hey, put your nose up here. I don't have any candy for you, but come say hi to the people. Hey. Say hi to the people. Say hello. Oh, my name is Wooa. Her name's Lula, the pissed off pig. And she is just hanging out. She wants something. Is it 5? Not yet, but she thinks it's 5. Now Daniel's mad because the piggy pie came out. Did you guys see my boo leggings when I just stood up? Okay, so for those of you that don't know, I have a pig. Yeah, I mean, she still limps, Joanne, but I think it's just like, I don't know, arthritis, laid on her leg wrong. I am not quite sure. I have no idea. No idea. Thank you. This fly may mean you guys don't get your training today. So as you guys know, this Get Your Shift Together workshop, like I told you yesterday, are to celebrate the doors opening to my most raved about program. Shift Happens is the one program that 5 years later, people say, that one program I took of yours that you did, like with the angel healing and all of that, changed my life. That's why this is my signature program and why I'm using the Get Your Shift Together workshop to celebrate the doors opening to it, because it's all about creating the habits and consistency and you getting out of your own way, putting yourself first without feeling guilty and finding yourself again. And so that you never lose yourself again. Not one person who has done the work in that program and completed it ever loses themselves again. Do they have a hard time? Does shit sucks? Do they have maybe a week or two where they feel depressed and down? Of course, that's life, that's human, right? But they never, ever lose themselves again, because the program is designed to give you all the tools, and this time, even more tools for you to shift and do like a whole 180. This is my way of describing it. Wherever your life is right now, I'm talking money, I'm talking as you being a mother, a partner / wife, in your career, in everything, your health, everything. We'll do a 180 for the better, always, like not worse. It's always better. So if it's great, it's going to do a 180 in better, not bad. You'll just compound and compound and compound. You can take this workshop. Oh my God, now I'm calling it a workshop, this program over and over and over again. And every single time you take it, it's like that, I don't know, cracking another part of you open, if you will. It is so freaking amazing. And one of the things that I forgot to tell you guys yesterday, so I'm extending it until tomorrow, is right now you can save $500 on Shift Happens. Okay. So whether you're doing payments or you're paying in full, if you use code, and I want you to write this down, even if you're not taking notes, save 500. Okay. All one word, save 500, whether it's payments or you do a pay in full, you are going to save $500 off of your enrollment to Shift Happens. And we start October 27th. I got to give myself a week from when this all closes and I wrap it all up before we start it. And then we're together for 8 weeks, and they will be 8 life-changing weeks. And the most perfect time of the year for you to join Shift Happens, because this is the time of year where a lot of people, I would say a large majority of the people, hit mass depressions. Things get even worse for them. They do even less taking care of themselves than they were before. And before it was shit, right? This is the perfect time for you to say, I have spent so much money on clothes. I've spent so much money on nails or eyelashes or whatever it is, or for my kids, right? Thousands of dollars on dance and extracurricular activities and football and all the things. And this time I'm going to invest in me. And that's what I want you to do, whatever it takes for you. If the enrollment fee is too much, if you need help, if you, whatever, send me a message, because this isn't about me. I mean, of course I want to make money and pay my bills, right? But that's not what the program is about. That's not why I do it. So I want to help whoever wants the shift and wants to step up for themselves. And so you're going to have to reach out though. You're going to have to send me a message here on Facebook and let me know that it sounds perfect for you and it's something you want to do. And then tell me what's holding you back or what questions you have, and we'll figure it out. If you want to be there, you know the saying, if there's a will, there's a way. Let's make it happen for you, because it is unbelievable. It is a program that I'm going to say this, I should charge $4,000 or $5,000 for Shift Happens. And I know this, and I've always undercut this program, always, as far as like what you guys pay. But this time I'm putting so much time and effort into it that I can't undercut it, but I will never, ever raise the price to $4,000 or $5,000. Not unless you're going to get one-on-one life coaching with me the entire time that we're in the workshop, then that would make sense, right? But just for the program, not workshop, the program, not unless you had like one-on-one coaching with me, then something like that would make sense. But I promise you that it will change your life everywhere. Like Maya is a great example. It changed her entire financial foundation. When Maya went through Shift Happens, she couldn't even find the money to pay for any of the shit that she had. And then she went through that program and started implementing what I taught her. And she ended up spending way more money on a whole bunch of other things that she wasn't paying for before when she didn't have the money. And then going through it, she had more money. You're like, well, what the fuck did you teach her that somehow she got more money? Well, that's all in Shift Happens. And it is amazing what happens when you make the shift. It is amazing what happens. So, one of the examples, because you're like, what do you mean she started spending money on other things? She hired, was it lawn care or house cleaner? Something that wasn't cheap. Lawn care is pretty cheap, but it might have been like a housekeeper. She moved her horses to a different stable, and she has horses, right? So when you talk about not having money, one of the things you should get rid of is maybe your horses, right? So you could save money. That's what an actual financial advisor would say. Maybe it's time to sell them. Oh, it was lawn care and house cleaning. Look at that, you guys. So it's not just about shifting your mindset and, putting yourself first. It is also about, your health, your wealth, your happiness. It's about all of the things that will shift everything in your life. Everything. So if you want to make more money, you want a business that's successful, you want to go out for the promotion at your job, you want to get a new job that pays more, that you love, you want to feel more connected with your partner and like rekindle or re-fall in love with them again, you want to buy or build a new house, want to pay off your debt, this program is for that. And you're like, I don't get it. You will. So if you want to check it out, go to shifthappensnow.com. No, shifthappensnow.life. I'm going to put it in the comments. Shit. I can't spell today. My ring finger is swollen for no apparent reason. Have you ever tried to type with a swollen ring finger? It is rough because it doesn't bend, just in case you were wondering. All right. Save 500 is the code. You will save $500 on payments as well. I wanted to just mention that one more time. Oh my gosh. Why is that not posting? There it goes. I was like, what the hell? Okay. So let's talk about the mold you're shoving yourself into. You've already gotten a ton of value today, even if you don't realize it. Okay. So we're 45 minutes in. I haven't even started on today's content. And that's because I use all sorts of things to give you value and teach you and power you up. And then I have my content that I thought I wanted to talk about, but we are definitely talking about the mold that you shove yourself into. It is hot as balls in here again today, so I have to take this off. So you're told, pay your dues, put in your time, prove yourself, check the right box, stay the course, meet expectation, soldier on. And then nothing worthwhile comes to you easily. And then you hear good things come to those who wait. Blue collar, white collar, hard work pays off, no pain, no gain. Thomas Edison put it this way: there's no substitute for hard work. But there is a remarkable difference between forcing yourself to fit into a box, all those things that I just said, and then pushing yourself to break that mold, which is what we are doing in this workshop. We are breaking the mold that you have been forcing yourself to fit in, or breaking the mold that you allowed someone to put you in. You see, we go through life, and I know that a lot of you are doing this right now. I could name 5 of you that I know are doing this right now. And they're not 5 people who have been an active part of my world, done this workshop, joined my trainings, and are actually my clients. A lot of them are those of you that are new. You go through life thinking, why do I have to do that? Why am I the one? Why is it me? Why can't someone else do it? Why does it always fall on my shoulders? Do you want to know why? Because you put yourself into that box. You molded yourself, squished yourself down, manipulated your body, your mind, your soul in a way, and shoved it so hard into that box, asked somebody to tape it shut for you, and now you're complaining that you're stuck in there. A. B, somebody you love, respected, did that to you. You allowed them to do that to you. Now, if you were a little kid, that sucks. And at some point before this training, before you met me, You knew you were in that box and you did nothing to bust yourself out. And you'll tell me, yeah, but Alishia, I tried. I know that's the problem. You tried. You tried. You didn't do what it took because you weren't important enough. It wasn't important enough to you for you to do that for you. You would have rather stayed comfortable in that box, whether you put yourself there or somebody else put you there, complaining about your life and saying that you wanted something different, that you want something more, that you want something better. Watching your guys' comments in this group half the time makes me cringe because you'll say, I'm hoping that this workshop is just the push that I need. I know that this workshop is what I need to do this for myself. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're like, well, then why the fuck am I here? Right? Like, that's what now you're going to. Well, then why am I here? Why are you having me do this if this isn't what I need? Because this isn't enough. Do you think a lifetime of shit that you have gone through and in 5 days it's going to be enough? It won't. What happens when you get to Saturday and your partner tells you they want to leave you? What happens when you get to Saturday and you find out that your mortgage company went bankrupt and they haven't been sending your payments in and they're selling your house on the courthouse steps? What happens when you get to Saturday and your fucking kid snuck out of the house and destroyed somebody's personal property? What happens when you get to Saturday and life? You thought that this workshop was going to change it for you? It's not. It's not enough. It's not enough power. It's not enough time. It's not enough energy of you investing in yourself for that transformation. And the misconception is you think that the power and the time that you do have here is going to give you that power afterwards. It won't. Why? Because it's not enough to rev you up. It's only enough to get you just right there. I don't know how to explain this in a better way. So I hope that what I'm saying is connecting with you. And why am I saying that? Not as a sales strategy for Shift Happens, because I've coached thousands of women, life coached thousands of women. There's no fucking possible way that this 5 days is it. Will it change your life? Only if you let it. It could change your life for 5 days. Do you know how hard it is to break a default mode? Your default mode is the mode that you go to on a regular basis. It's the place where you settle. For you, it's the shitty place. For me, it's being rude and negative, right? It's not for me, it is not me like depressed, but for other people, it's being stuck in bed. It's staying stuck on antidepressants, right? So I just want you to know that your default mode is way more powerful than this 5-day workshop is. And I am one powerful fucking person. I get that. The only way though, that I would have that faith and that confidence is that if after this, we were still working together. We need more time. We need life to happen. We need you to get off this high and shit to go wrong. And that moment, me say, don't you fucking dare give up. This is what you need to do. This is the action that you need to take. Here's where you start fighting for yourself. And I won't be in your ear to do that unless you join some sort of paid program, right? I'm definitely not going to be your voice of reason and kick your ass to greatness for free. That's what this 5 days is for. So that's what I mean by that. Now, could there be some book or some other thing that you go to? Yeah, it doesn't have to be me. But once you hit this place of knowing that you need more, that there has to be more for you and that you're missing it, it's going to cost you money. It will. It costs me money. There's just no way that I could be this version of myself by just joining free shit, because most people don't even deliver the way that I do anyways. So their free shit didn't really help as much. I get like one little nugget. It'd be like 5 fucking million of those free shits in order to get enough for me to feel whole enough to fight for myself. Does that make sense? And nobody's going to sit through that much. But when you spend money, you have that pain of the money that's spent. So you're like, I'm going to show the fuck up. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do it because I spent this money on it. I hope my point is made. So Kim says, I definitely have allowed myself to help others way too often, always making them and their needs more important than my own. My children and grandchildren are definitely my weakness as a single mom. I've been doing everything for so long. It's my default mode for sure. So there's going to be some major fucking power to shift that default mode. And we all have a default mode. So I like this. So thank you for this idea, Kim. What do you think your default mode is? Shout it out in the chat, in the comments. Okay. What's your default mode? If I don't work on my mindset, I'm mean. And I think everything fucking sucks. Life sucks. We're never going to get there. It's never going to happen. You can fuck off. You can kiss my ass. I don't fucking care what you think. I don't need you. Leave anyways. I don't want to be with you anymore. Go fucking live with your dad, even though we're still married. Like, my attitude sucks if I am not fighting for myself. True story. That's my default mode. So Kathy says, I agree. Can only do so much with free stuff. I've paid to work through my crap. Absolutely. Default mode, avoidance. Yes. Yeah. So Angie, you and I are a lot alike. Your default mode is your daughter and giving in with money. So what you're saying is, Joanne, anytime she asks for money, you say, I'm not going to give her money this time. And then you give it to her anyways. Is that what you mean? Vera says, I allow people to walk all over me and I need to stand up for myself. Ronnie says, fight and bitch mode. I've never seen that version of you, Ronnie. Shanette says, ooh, let's go. Not saying exactly how I feel. All of these things silently destroy you. And I mean it. What happens Saturday when life? What happens Sunday when life? What happens Monday when life? What happens Tuesday when life? What happens when life happens and you don't know what the fuck to do after this workshop? Journ and burn is one tool. You have no idea how many tools I use on a regular basis to not blow somebody's fucking house up. Did I mention I'm a really aggressive person? Yes. And like, my mind resorts to violence. Like, you fuck with me, I'll blow your house up. Like, that's how I feel. I'm a very aggressive person, right? So I have a ton of tools in order to like be like, okay, so now it's a joke. Now I say that and everybody laughs because now I wouldn't actually do that. You know, I always say this, and I'm going to come back to what you guys have said, but I always say this. People think that I'm going to put this shirt on the back of my chair because it's annoying me. They say, oh, I have no idea why that mom would run her van into the pond. Like, she's crazy. She doesn't deserve to have children. Some of us, we can't have children. And she's going to go kill them. She deserves to rot in hell. Wait, hold up, bitch. That mom who drove her kids into a pond and killed them is because she hit her mark where she couldn't handle it. She had enough. It was too much for her and she didn't know what else to fucking do. Every single one of us who have had children could have been that fucking mom. Right? And that's because we don't have enough tools. You don't have enough things to go, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Nope, I still feel like I'm going to murder them. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Nope, I still feel like I'm going to murder them. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Like, there's not enough tools to pull from. And I'm definitely not joking about this. I always say this. People think that she just snapped one day. She didn't just snap one day. She was fucking done and she felt like she had no other choice. That's how suicide happens. They get to the point where they are done. They feel like they have no other choice. You are to that point or close to that point, not of suicide. Maybe some of you are of that point where you feel like, I don't know what else to do. I've done everything that I know how to do. And you're still sitting in that box. You did the whole journ and burn inside of the fucking box that I was talking about earlier. And you're like, oh my God, I feel so much better. Yeah, you do. Because instead of being inside the box, feeling like shit about all that stuff, now you're just inside the box going, okay, at least I have released that. But what's going to get you up out of it? What's going to get you up fighting? What's going to make you kick that fucking door open and go for your dreams and to stand up for yourself or to leave that person who's holding you back or to go out and buy that house, to become independent from your husband with finances just so that you can say that you did it for yourself? I am so fucking sick of coaching women through not having money because their partners is the one that makes the money. Like, if you're that woman, pull your head out of your ass and do something about it. You should never be depending on no man's money. I don't care how fucking amazing he is, because they're always amazing until they're not. So are the women. They're always amazing until they're not. I even told Daniel that. I'm like, I make a fuck ton of money, but you should not be without knowing what you would do if I lost my mind one day and I decided I was done with you. What would you do? How would you take care of yourself? How would you take care of the kids? You need to know those things. Why? He'd say, you're not going anywhere. I don't care. You don't know that. You guys never know what's going to make somebody snap. Like, it's crazy to me. I am so on a mission to get you to fight, to stand up, to do something for yourself more than just existing. That's why I'm here. That's why Shift Happens is a program. That's why I'm running it. That's why there's a million tools inside of it. Because I want you to stop saying that you're going to, that you will, that you should, that you need to. And I want you to fucking do it. Okay? Okay. Oh, flight, not fight, flight. Got it. Flight and bitch mode. Got it. Kathy says, my default mode is living with the evil twins, depression and anxiety, but I work every single day on mindset and personal development. That's huge. And one thing that I want to mention about this, gosh, I have so much coaching from your guys' comments. Thank you for this. I don't give a fuck if we never get to my notes for the day, because this is powerful. I want you to drop like a fire or a bomb in the comments if you feel like this session has been so powerful. I have literally only covered one section of my notes, and I think there's 3. And actually, I haven't even got to content number 1 for the day. That's true story. It literally says right here, content number 1. We haven't got to it yet, but I want to talk about this. Depression and anxiety. Be careful. You guys, unless you're living like eyes wide open, ears wide open, you can see clearly of what the fuck is going on. You are a product of what they wanted you to be. There has never been more time in history that people have used anxiety as their reason for not being able to fill in the blank. Now, somebody would say, the times we live in have caused that. No. Fuck that. What has caused that are commercials. What have caused that are like commercials on the TV, commercials on the radio, the news articles. Where you're listening has caused that. Do you realize that if you're not paying attention, you've been conditioned to believe that the reason why you struggle is because you're depressed and you have anxiety? Do you realize that the chance of that being something that was built into you is like high, 90% high? That's a fucked up thing to say, Alishia. So you're saying that people don't have depression and they don't have anxiety? No, I'm saying that it was created so that more people would have that, so that they would depend on the drugs and they would take their lives or feel like they are stuck. It's a part of this whole fucking shitstorm that we live in. Why would I say that? Because it's true. Now that I've told you that, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Why is it being shoved down our throats? Why is it everywhere? Why is it a regular part of conversation? Do you not ever remember when autism wasn't talked about, but it existed? Do you ever remember when ADHD wasn't talked about, but it existed? Do you ever remember when it wasn't a household issue? That's because it was made into a household issue. That doesn't mean that what it is doesn't exist. It means that what it is, they made bigger and put it on more people. Do you realize that when you say that I have depression and anxiety, a doctor told you that? You go to the doctor, you say, I've been sad. Shit sucked. I can't fucking deal with this. You're depressed. Now that I know I suffer from depression, does anybody have any ideas to help me? Now you have depression. Oh, I see a fucking snow flurry, lose my goddamn mind, have a pure panic attack. Go to the doctor. Tell the doctor that story. Guess what he's going to tell me? Does anybody know? Throw it down in the comments. What happens if I have a panic attack over the snow and it sends me into a complete fucking tizzy and I go to the doctor? What are they going to diagnose me with? Comment it right now. Right now. I'm going to show you guys this. You do not have it. You were told that you have it. So you believed that it was so, and now it is. You cannot have something that you don't believe is true for you. I'm telling you, it's right here. So you're telling me that I'm not really depressed? No, I'm telling you that things fucking suck and you never did the work before to fix it. And so it's stuck there and you got stuck there. So I'm not telling you don't feel that way, but it doesn't need a fucking title. It needs you to do the goddamn work. That's what I'm saying, right? It doesn't need to be something that becomes a part of you. It was never meant to. It wasn't ever meant to be something that is you. All right, next thing. Maya says, this workshop is great to know if you feel like she's a great fit for you. That was great. I'm so glad I did all of that and then read that comment. That could not have come at a better moment. Let me read that again. This workshop is a great way to know if she is a good fit for you. I was so pissed at Alishia when I took, it keeps jumping up. When I took the workshop for the first time, I took it again. And then the third time I realized that I was mad at myself and I needed the shift program. Oh my God, that's like a beautiful testimonial. Thank you for that. Even though it was just you speaking from your heart. It's true. Most people get pissed off at me when we go through this workshop. I'm not here to make you like me. I'm here to light a fire under your fucking ass to fight for yourself. I don't give a shit if you don't like me in the journey. If you love yourself and you fight for yourself, you never have to talk to me again or look at me again, but fucking do something. That's my point, right? I don't need to be liked. I need you to change your life. Keeping the peace and setting boundaries are contradictions. You cannot keep the peace and set boundaries, because when you set the boundaries, Cindy, it is going to cause some sort of an uproar, whether it's like a little tiff or not. So you've got to decide, are you worth the boundaries, or is keeping the peace more important to you? And when you keep the peace, just remember the story I told about my sister-in-law, where it was killing me inside because I wouldn't speak my truth. Mercedes says, so these are all the default modes still. I always take care of everyone else before myself. My hubby is sick with cancer, and I feel like I'm losing myself more and more. It's so hard. Cancer is the hardest thing to deal with, and not lose yourself in the journey, because everything becomes about the cancer. So I'm so glad you're here just for some beginning tools to help with that. I like how you guys are responding to yourself. I love my soul deep toolbox. Yes, so many things. So many things. Ronnie says, I went to the eye doctor today. I was confident in saying number 1 or number 2. I made strong decisions that I knew I was comfortable and happy with. I want to feel that way with the rest of my life. I want to not second guess myself. Well, I'm proud of you for showing up, because you've signed up for this workshop before. You've been in my life coaching group and you don't participate. So I'm really proud of you. I'm a never on demand Nana money. Oh, I never demand on a what? A Nana money. What the fuck is that? I never demand on a Nana money. I can't do it. My brain is not with you. Oh, a man's. Okay, there's the fix right there. I never demand on a man's money. Oh, depend. There it goes. And yeah, good. Don't. I'm the money at my house. Kathy says, I totally relate to you, Mercedes. Awesome. I'm the money in my house. I snapped this year. Good. I'm glad you snapped. Sometimes you just need a good snap, scare everybody in the fucking house into doing what you want them to do. Oh, I did that yesterday after our workshop. I lost my fucking shit on my kids. But guess what? The chores got done today without a fight. Yay. Everything's in my name. Fire, bomb, 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 fire, 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 bomb, 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 bomb. I've used my anxiety as an excuse and I get called down on it all the time. Ooh, that's powerful. Fuck the news. I just look at the weather. It's a bunch of misinformation. Instead of teaching you how to work through your depression, they will convince you to use a pill and it fixes it. I have not watched the news since 9/11. I believe it's totally programmed in these days, and I refuse to be anxious or depressed about anything anymore. The battle between my ears has been huge. Oh, this fucking fly. Yes. Yeah, what happened to AIDS? Let's see. The doc would say, Are you feeling sad? Hell no, it's life. Boyfriend always tells me to take time for myself. Yes. I try to take a relaxing bath every night for some me time. That's awesome. I'm so grateful it doesn't give you a yeast infection. I couldn't do that every night. I found what? Yeah. So I call that your ego, bitch, Kathy. It's really your ego, and every single one of us has it. Yeah. Yeah, I believe that depression and anxiety is what we call them because a doctor has given it meaning and then said, if you want help with this, you take this pill. And I'm over here saying, I wouldn't know what it's called if I wasn't told what it was called, but the emotions are still real. And then these are the actions I take to work through it, right? It's just a different path. One path is someone giving it a definition and telling you like this little magic pill will fix this. And the other path is, and both emotions stay the same, right? But the other path is I feel this way, but if I don't want to feel this way, I've got to do something different. When we moved back to Utah, I had severe anxiety and panic over fucking snow. I have been in crazy accidents. It scares the fuck out of me. It makes me feel like I'm out of control. I have almost jumped out of the car driving down the road. So don't think that I'm speaking from a place of, yeah, you've probably just never dealt with it. No, I fucking dealt with it. But do you want to know what I did? I didn't go to the doctor and say, hey, I am suffering now that I've moved back to Utah from severe anxiety and panic over snow, like one fucking snow flurry. We were at Godsmack a couple years ago in the middle of a concert outside. It starts snowing. I start crying. That's what I mean when I say it was big. You know what I did? And last year was after the story I'm about to tell you. We went to get our Christmas tree the first year we moved back, and we were driving back. And you know, when the snow happens, for those of you guys that live in a snowy area and the wind's blowing, it like does this wispy thing across the road. And it's just like blowing snow. There was no snow on the sides, but it was like blowing snow. I freaked the fuck out. I was panicking. I almost grabbed the steering wheel. And I told Daniel that I was going to jump out of the car. Like I was panicking, like at a level that I have never panicked before. I didn't even know that I would do that. I lost my fucking mind. I came home and I had a live to do for some reason. I can't remember why. And I did that live and everybody's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Da, 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 da. You're going to be okay. Da, 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 da. They're all talking to me. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out there in this blizzard and I'm going to take my kid to his dance class. And people in the comments were like, oh my God, you are? Yeah. Because the only way around fear is through it. Whatever is causing you anxiety, you want to avoid. Well, guess what? Every fucking time it happens, it's going to trigger you because you're not doing anything about it. You're popping a fucking pill. The only way around fear is through it. So I got in the car and I drove 5 miles an hour and I was shaking and I almost threw up and it wasn't far, but it doesn't matter. I did it. I got behind the wheel and I started driving. And then I realized, oh, this is what I need. If the weather's bad, I need to be behind the wheel because I need to be able to drive 2 miles an hour if I feel like it's too much and out of control. And if someone else is behind the wheel, I feel like I'm going to freak the fuck out. Now Daniel can drive and all I have to say is please slow down. Please slow down. Please slow down. And he will slow down as slow as I need him to go. And then I feel better. But none of that would have happened, right? I could easily be on anxiety pills. Don't you guys think? Easily be on anxiety pills just from that, because it was crazy. So I get it, right? I get not exactly what triggers you, but I get the feelings. You have to do something different. You have to fight through it. So this isn't part of today's training. Anxiety, depression, like nothing I've said is part of today's training except for the beginning part. I have a challenge for you. The next time you have an anxiety attack or a panic attack, I want you to move through it. I want you to take action forward. I want you to do something that is the opposite of what you've been doing. You don't get to take the pill like that. That would be doing the same thing you've been doing. Do something different. Okay. What? I don't know anything. anything that is a different action to help you through that than depending on something that is only stop, like literally the pill is stopping the anxiety, but it's not helping you work through that situation when it comes back. So what the fuck are you going to do for the next 40 or 50 years, depending on how old you are? Take that fucking pill every single time? That's crazy. Why is it not ever being described like this? If the doctor said, here, take this pill and this will help, but you will have to take this for the rest of your life every single time you hear a door slam. Because maybe that door slam was the trigger to your ex who beat you, right? You'll have to take this pill every time you hear a door slam. That's the dumbest thing you could do. You know what you should do? Be in a safe place with people you know you're safe with and have people slam the door over and over and over and over and over again. And then stop, go do whatever. And then out of the blue, have somebody slam the door so that you're taking by surprise. It's going to skyrocket your anxiety. And then you can start calming it down, right? That's what you do. You take action through it. But I don't know what's going on, but people aren't talking about this. And I never actually talk about this, to tell you the truth. Today is the first day. I know, the damn fly. It is driving me crazy. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, push through it. Okay, cool. So I know I've said this a couple of times, but I can tend to sound insensitive, and I never want to sound insensitive. Please know that I'm never saying that your feelings aren't real. I'm saying that the way that you are taught to handle your feelings means that these feelings will be here for the rest of your life. They're not going anywhere. The only way they're going to go somewhere is if you do something different. That's the only way. Okay? So fight through it. You did your journ and burn. And you thought that that was going to incapacitate you, and you trusted me, and you did it anyway. So trust me with this. Just do it. Don't take the pill, and then take action, and then don't take the pill, and then take action, and then something fucking nuts will happen, and you won't be able to take the action. Maybe you just can't bring yourself to. Okay, then you're going to have to take the pill. But eventually, you'll look at that pill and go, I don't need you. I know exactly what I need to do. That's what I mean. That's what I mean right there. Okay. So I never want you, the next time you take your anxiety meds or your antidepressants, I never want you to take them and think, God, I'm such a piece of shit. I'm so weak. I'm better than this. I want you to think you're better than this, but I don't want you to put yourself down, because that's not what I'm saying. Okay. I'm just saying that what you have been taught and the way that you cope is wrong. And I want to teach you a different way. I want to give you, a whole fucking toolbox of tools. And let me tell you what, the way I'm running Shift Happens this time, there's so many tools, and the universe keeps bringing me more that I am like, how the fuck am I going to get this into 8 weeks? It may be 12, but whatever it is, it's going to be, and it's going to be the most powerful program that, did I call it a workshop again? I don't fucking care. Powerful program I have ever ran. Like, just like this Get Your Shift Together workshop is the most powerful time I've ever ran it. So will that be? I'm really stoked. So Maya, get ready, because what you learned in the first Get Your Shift Happens program is now the foundation, but there's so much more. Tammy, get ready. Yeah, they're both in it because they have lifetime access. Let's see. I smoked for 23 years and quit during one of my most difficult times in life. I always would smoke if I was sad or depressed. Or depressed on the most difficult day. I barreled through and I wouldn't allow myself to smoke. I knew if I could make it through that day in the situation without smoking, I could make it through anything. It was definitely a powerful moment for me. And it's the exact same concept. 100%. You're giving yourself the power. Like, I got this. No, fuck you. I don't need you. Like, just think of a bad man. What would you do if he was a piece of shit? You need me. You can't do this without me, right? What would you do? You would prove him wrong. So prove the pill wrong. You don't need it. What you need to do is fight. What you need to do, like I used to tell my clients, I don't know if any of you guys are stuck in bed, but I would say, get the fuck out of bed. I can't. Yes, you can. Get out of bed, get in the shower, make yourself a lunch. Then you can get back in bed. Then the next day, get out of bed, get in the shower, go walk around the block. Then you can get back in bed. Eventually, one of those actions that you add, you're not going to feel like retreating. You just won't anymore. Like, fuck it, I'm going to make the bed today, and then it shifts. Holy shit. All right, we got to go. Like, we're an hour 20 in. You're going to get a text message about how awesome today was, which I knew it was going to be awesome. Just, you can look at it afterwards. So I can't believe how much I haven't covered for today's topic. And I'm torn on if I really want to cover it, to tell you the truth, because today has been so freaking awesome. I want to cover this though. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to wrap up, and your massive action plan's wrong. So don't do it, because I see some things on here that won't be on your massive action plan this time. And this is the beauty about me just doing what feels good. I'm going to wrap up with, you're so welcome, Mercedes, with what's within your control and outside of your circle of control. Okay. Oh, absolutely, Maya. Like, just divine downloads, right? Intuition. I always do this workshop off of intuition. I usually never have notes because it's all intuition based, but the past workshops that I've ran for Get Your Shift Together were so powerful that I was like, I need to have those notes there. And then I didn't use half of them, but it's fine. Let's talk about what's with outside and within your circle of control. Okay. And then we're going to wrap up for today, because this is a lot of content. One thing that I hear all the time is, I give of myself because they need me. They're sick. Their daughter's sick. They stubbed their toe. They're really busy. Their husband isn't around. Their husband's sick. Their husband left them, right? Or whatever it is like that. That's outside of your circle of control. So right now, Joanne, your daughter who's outside the house, whoever's babysitting, Kim, the babysitting for your daughter, maybe son, I think it's daughter. These things are outside of your circle of control, or that's inside of your circle of control. Their problems are not your problems. Oh, Alishia, you can't say that. That's my daughter. That's my son. That's my grandbaby. I would never not be there for them. Nobody is telling you not to be there for them. What I'm telling you are healthy fucking boundaries and standards. If you died tomorrow, she'd have to fucking figure it out. People think they're so important, you guys. You think you are so important. You think that if you don't do it, nobody will. You think if you don't show up, there ain't nobody there. You think that if you aren't the caregiver, there isn't anybody to care for. You think that if you don't cook the dinner, nobody's going to eat. You think if you don't clean the house, it ain't going to get cleaned. But if you died tomorrow, it would all be taken care of. I want you to think about that. Pretty much every single thing you do to drive yourself fucking crazy and not take time for you, it's all in your head. Now, this is made up. Your anxiety and depression, not made up. You really feel those ways. You're really having a hard time. But the made up, facade that you're the only one that can do it is complete and utter bullshit. And you know that to be true because there's millions of capable people doing the same thing that you do day in and day out all over the world. So you know that you're not the only one that can do it. And then there's millions of companies who do what you do and they are paid for it. So you also know that it's a career for people and it's not only you that can do it. But you tell yourself you're the only one that can do it because that's where you get your importance. This isn't even about circle of control. I went off on another fucking tangent. You're the only one that can do it because that's where you get your importance. Well, let me just tell you that by getting your importance there, you're still in that fucking box. That's the mold that you're fitting yourself into. You're not the only one that can do it. That should never be where you get your importance. Cooking dinner, cleaning the house, running around, giving all you have to give to everyone, being everything to everyone, exhausting yourself. Those are not things to feel proud of. They're not awesome things. Anybody can cook fucking dinner. Anybody can clean the fucking house. Anybody can take care of what needs to be taken care of. What the fuck do you need to do for the best quality of life for you? What the fuck do you need to do to make the memories that are going to last a lifetime? What is it that you need to do so that all those fucking people stand on their own two goddamn feet? Because one day you won't be here. And you don't even know when that is. What do you need to do? When do you need to do it? What's it going to take? Is it shift happens? I hope so. I hope that I get to be this for you for another 2 months after this workshop. I truly do, because I know that when you're done, you're going to be one badass bitch, like in all fucking ways. Like, I know that it's so powerful that it changes me every time I do the program myself. And I'm the one running it. That's how fucking powerful it is, because it's not all me. It's like divine energy. It's angels. It's spiritual. It's so amazing. And it's not like this. I'm not hard hitting in Shift Happens. I'm not like in your face. We've got Tibetan singing bowls and candles are lit, and it's down, you know? No, that's a great question. Let me answer that question. So yes, hire more help so you can have free time, but I don't have the money. Join Shift Happens. Shift Happens is not the same as the 90-day shift. I think that's an amazing question. So this is my best way to explain it to you. 90-day shift is for the person who is going to only give themselves roughly 15 minutes a day to read and take action. It's slow moving. And it's going to take all 90 days for you to get through it. And you will have some shifts in the 90-day shifts. I would never say you won't. You will, but it's a very baseline foundational. And I feel like most people quit after they don't even make it to day 20, because I'm not there for you. I don't help you. I'm not coaching you. It's a self-study program. 90-day shift is for the person who's like, I really want to change, but I don't have any time. Okay, then go take this program. It'll be there for you for the rest of your life. And then you can go through it whenever, right? Shift Happens is this for 2 months on steroids. All right. So the difference is, in Shift Happens, I'm there for you. We are doing this together. I run it live. I show up every week for 8 weeks inside of Shift Happens, and I run it live. I'm teaching you the tools. I'm having the divine downloads. I'm doing all of that. I'm doing the angel card readings and teaching you about the crystals and the chakras. I'm working with you as you go through the exercises and you find out which chakra is blocked and the action for you to take. So it's a hell of a lot more like hands-on. There's no live in 90-day shift. It's all daily emails. You get an email a day for 90 days. And in Shift Happens, we're like live together for 2-ish months. I'm not sure if I can shove all of this in 8 weeks for 2-ish months. So it's like this, but it's once a week, right? I have to give you the space in between for growth and action and for life to happen and shit to fall apart for you to come back, for me to help you learn how to put things back together, or put you back together. So I hope that was a good description. 90-day shift is really only about putting yourself first without feeling guilty. Shift Happens is my only program that focuses on all three: getting out of your own way, putting yourself first without feeling guilty, and finding yourself again. It has all the tools, and 90-day shift doesn't even have half of the tools that I put in Shift Happens. So hopefully that makes sense. I didn't even get to what's in and outside of your circle of control. The actions that you take are mostly because you are trying to save someone else from falling, from them falling apart, from it not going well, from them struggling. And you think that it's your job to go do that. But then when you go do that, you're like, Alishia, I have no time. I'm always doing this and I'm doing this. And I'm volunteering here and I'm doing that. All that's outside of your circle of control. Whatever's going on with your daughter, whatever's going on in their life, whatever they're going through, that's outside of your circle of control. What you do have control over is how much you give to them, how much you show up for them, how much you do for them. And that's where setting your standards and boundaries come in. What you do have control over is the way you feel. What you do have control over is your time, making time for yourself. Because if you don't make that time for yourself, you are not going to be part of the time that is filled up. I always say this: however long you give yourself to do something, it will take you that long. If you give yourself a week, it's going to take a week. If you give yourself a day, it's going to take a day. If you give yourself a month, it's going to take a month. So when you have 24 hours in a day and you say you don't have any time, but the old saying is that everybody has the same 24 hours in a day, that's because those people who are controlling their time put time in for themselves and what's important and the memories and the quality time. And you are just going through the day, going through the motions, and somehow it's 11 o'clock and your day got away from you. No, it didn't. You just didn't do fucking anything to structure your day so that you were part of it. What you needed was part of it. What you loved was part of it. The quality time with the people you love was part of it. I think that we're missing so much quality time now because we're being shoved through our lives, and we're being shoved through our lives because we're not scheduling it. We're not scheduling in what's most important. And I could be completely wrong. So the next time you feel like something is happening to you or it is against you, I want you to look at it and ask yourself, is this inside of my circle of control or outside of my circle of control? And every godforsaken thing that's outside of your circle of control, you have to bless and release and send the burden back to those people, because it's not your burden to bear. That's what you say. You're feeling stressed, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Think, is it within my circle of control? No. I bless and release you. I send it back to you. This is not my burden to bear. And you don't even have to say it to them. When I first learned this, I used to say it to Daniel. It used to make me feel so good and powerful. He would say something or do something, and I would get all riled up. And then I would look at him and take a deep breath and say, that's not my burden to bear. I release it back to you. I don't take it on as my own. And I would walk away. That's what I would do. And it gave me so much personal power, because we wouldn't end up in a 4-hour fight of me doing my best to get him to realize that he needs to do this for himself and da-da-da-da and blah, blah, blah. Just put your hands up, right? Now, if it's within your circle of control, you got to go to work. You got to go to work and taking action to fix it or to make it better, right? And it's a hell of a lot easier to do that when it's within your circle of control. Once you start separating what's within and what's outside of your circle of control, the one thing that you're going to notice is how much easier it is to work through things. The reason why you feel like you're constantly running up against the wall and it's like kicking your ass is because it's outside of your circle of control. It's somebody else's inside circle. Does that make sense? It's inside of their circle of control, outside of your circle of control. And you're doing your best to manipulate it and control it. All right, let's do temperatures again. Oh my God, there was so much that I missed today. It's fine. We did so good today. This is what your soul needed. So I am so grateful that I was given everything that I needed to give to you today. I feel so grateful for that. Like I said, I am really bummed that I didn't get to the rest of today, but I know that everything happens for a reason. The universe never makes any mistakes. And I always say everything is in divine timing. With that, I highly encourage every single one of you to go to shifthappensnow.life. Check out Shift Happens. I know it's not cheap. I know that it is a big investment in yourself, but I also know what it's going to do for you. And I know that you deserve it. There's been so many things that I've invested in that was the last of my money. And I'm so grateful that I did it, because then the money just showed up for me to be able to pay for whatever the fuck I took the money from. You're going to have to go within yourself and let your ing guide you. If your ing says you're in, figure out a way to make it happen, or shoot me a message and let's talk about it. If your ing says you're out, still shoot me a message and let's see why. Maybe it's because Shift Happens isn't for you and 90-day shift is for you, right? Or Sync with Your Soul is for you. I have other programs. I have other options. I just want you to go with what you're connected to. That page is not fluffed up. So when you go to shifthappensnow.life, what you're seeing there, what you're reading there, what I put there is what you get. Okay. So I just wanted to make that really clear. That's get your shift together, you guys. A whole 90 minutes of no notes. You guys, this was so freaking amazing. Let's go over your massive action plan. This is the last day to get the VIP for $27, and it's going to double. The doors are open to shift happens. We just talked about that. We're not doing anything with astrological signs. We didn't talk anything about physical clutter. So you actually don't have a massive action plan today, except for this. I'm going to edit that massive action plan. You don't need, there's really, what you need today is this. When anxiety strikes, do something different than what you've been doing. Alishia, what do I do? Something different. Trust yourself. What is the something different? In the moment, your ing is telling you, your inner nudge for good is telling you, just do it. Do whatever it tells you to do. And I know this seems like woo-woo. Trust me, it's telling you. Okay. So that's your action plan for today. Like I said, the one that's there, I'm going to delete most of it. But I still want you to post your number one takeaway here in the group. If you didn't do your dark work from yesterday, get it the fuck done. If there's anything else from yesterday's massive action plan that you didn't do, get it done. But today I just feel so good about feeling into yourself and your ing. The other thing that I will mention is be mindful over the next 24 hours, what's within your control, your circle of control, and what's outside of your circle of control. Those are extremely important. Okay. Yes. And if you're depressed, reach out to someone. I love that. I love that advice. Or are you depressed? If you did like 72 jumping jacks and shook your ass, do you think you would still be depressed? Probably not. You'd be tired and feel like an idiot, but it would you'd probably think it was funny. Like, I don't know. Are you depressed or do things just suck? Are you depressed or are you having a hard time? Are you depressed or is it your dark places? Are you depressed or does your life just not look the way that you want it to? Did you think you were going to be more, do more, have more? Are you depressed or do you hate your fucking job? You know, I'm going to leave you with that. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye.